if you've noticed, but there's an awful lot of stress and overwhelm going on in the world these days. Just in case you haven't noticed, I thought I'd tell you that. And it's an awful lot to deal with for any of us. Even those that are, you know, stress junkies and say, I used to be when I was young, oh, I would thrive on stress. I'd wait till the last minute to get things done because I felt like I would do a better job if, it was right down to the wire. Have you ever felt like that? How does living in today's world make you feel? Are you frustrated? Are you upset? Do you have a constant headache? What about stomach aches? It's hard. It's really, really hard. I have heard so often people saying that 2020 is going to go down in history as the worst year ever. I question that. There's a lot of times in the past that things have been pretty bad, and there's a lot of things that are really good in today's world. It's all in the way we look at it. Hi, everybody. I am Nancy, and I'm the Chief Flying Pig Wrangler for Business Success Unlimited. And I'm here to talk to you today about stress and overwhelm and how we can deal with that in our businesses and in our personal lives. I have a story that I want to tell you, and some of you may have heard it. It's a fable from years and years and years ago, but it's something I heard and have remembered. And I really want to share it with you because it's a really good way to look at the world around us and to see how we're dealing with things. And there's actually a couple of them, but I'm only going to tell you the one today. And that was where this old man and his donkey were walking alongside the road, and there was a ditch. And the old donkey was just really tired. He'd had a long, hard life, and he kind of tripped and he fell into the ditch. And he couldn't get out. It was too deep. There was, he couldn't get out. So the old man is looking around and he's going, I don't know what to do. I'm too old. I can't climb down there and lift him out. I can't, bend over and pull him. I guess I'm just going to have to leave him. But along came another person. And the person says, well, okay, I'll help you. And the other person starts digging dirt from outside of the hole. And he's digging the dirt and he's throwing it into the ditch. And he's digging the dirt and he's throwing it into the ditch. Guess what's happening? With every shovel of dirt that's getting thrown into that ditch, the donkey jumps up. And all of a sudden, he's starting to rise. And he's coming up closer and closer and closer to the top of the hole. And before long, the men are still throwing that dirt into that ditch. And here comes the donkey. And he just clumps out of the hole. And he's back and's got a whole new outlook on life. He was able to figure out how to overcome the stress and the overwhelm of thinking, this is the end. I'm going to die. There's nobody here that's going to help me. And with all that dirt falling down over the poor little donkey's head, he could have been thinking, that's it. I can either give up or I can figure out what I'm going to do to have the other outcome. And that allowed that little donkey to be able to have a new life. Do you see where there's any similarities between that donkey and us? I don't know about you, but I have been hit with all kinds of challenges and technology issues and everything under the sun lately. We've been running back and forth to the doctor. We're getting ready to move and we're dealing with all of that. And should we do our own packing? Should we hire someone to pack? Should we use a U-Haul it? Should we hire a moving company? How much is this going to cost? What is this going to cost? And in the process of all of this life, I'm trying to run a business. And silly me, I've got a couple of new programs that are starting. One starting next week in August and one starting in September. So of course there's all of this behind the scenes. What do we call it? What do we do? Should we do this? Should we do that? How do we do it? Who is it for? Back and forth and all these staff meetings and people trying to figure everything out. And then of course I don't go to sleep at night because all of this stuff's going on in my brain. And does any of this sound familiar? You know, I then go, whoa, wait a minute. I can be frustrated. I can be angry. I can be any number of things. But do any of them help me? Do any of them make life better? And the question is no. I no longer can do good work if I wait till the very end and just jump in at that point. I got to figure things out. I've got to do things. I need to have the tools and strategies. I need to know simple things like how to breathe. What is it that is going to make this chaos that I'm living in more peaceful? A lot of that is not arguing. A lot of that is just saying whatever God wills will happen. And I know that's not easy for some people. You don't, you want this in your hands. You want to make sure that you're in control. And I think for me, one of the biggest things was to realize that I may not be in control of everything, but I can be in control of certain things. And that's tools. Tools like the software that I'm using to do this Facebook Live, tools like my calendar. I wouldn't know what day it was or where I was supposed to be or who I was supposed to be with if it weren't for my calendar. So I'm not stressed because all I have to do is look at my calendar and I can say, okay, I know what I've got to do today. I'm good to go. And that takes care of the stress. So I think this short little story today is just to let you know that even though we are feeling overwhelmed and stressed to the max and every other emotion there is out there, we can do something about it. We can take little baby steps to get so that things aren't so difficult. And one way that you can do that is if you have a business. The program I'm starting next week is called VI Pigs. And that's a way for business owners who are stressed by the fact that you're not going into the office, you're sitting at home working, you're trying to figure out how to run a home and a business at the same time, and there's nobody to talk to. VI Pigs is going to be there to support you. There's going to be a weekly time when people can get together and work together, and if they have questions or want to share ideas, there's a space for that. They can talk, they can work, they can get um, high quality tasks accomplished. We're going to be reading business books that are really interesting, sometimes controversial. And then we're going to be figuring out how those things that are in the book that we're reading can apply or don't apply to our own businesses. And we're also going to have a monthly question and answer time when you can just jump on and say, hey, I got a question. I need an answer. How do you get this piece of software to work? I can't figure it out. I need some help. Anything. We're going to be talking about specific subjects and topics, and you can also jump in and do other things as well. So it's a real quick little breakdown of what's going to be going on. And oh, by the way, I didn't mention this VI Pigs is only going to cost $10 a month if you jump in right now. As a founding rate and as a gift, we're going to offer all of this and more coming up for only $10 a month. That's an incredible offer. And if you are interested in learning more about it, it says down at the bottom down there, go to patreon.com/Nancy Becker, and you can find out all about it. In the meantime, guys, get out there. If that dirt's hitting you in the head, just keep on climbing. Eventually, you're going to be soaring higher. Take care, y'all, and we'll talk soon. Bye bye.